Round 1 Pro Motocross 2025. There was lots to talk about. There was so much oddball stuff that happened with Cooper Webb's bike blowing up and Sexton losing his goggles and retiring with a shoulder injury. We'll get into that, and I want to go back and forth between Tomac and Jett's riding style, and then also some lines that I saw from Deegan and some of the other riders. But first off, the first couple laps, we saw Sexton start looking at his goggles. Like, from what he said is a rock hit it, cracked the lens, and he decided to ditch him. But it created a lot of hesitation from him multiple laps in a row, where we see him here try to take his goggles off, can't get it. He's not racing forward. And then finally he takes his goggles off. And if I slow this down, he lands with his hand not on the handlebar. So there was just so much that was going on inside his head. How could he stay focused? And luckily he gets back on the handlebars. But truthfully, if you listen to the podcast, he more than likely should have gone to the mechanics area right away and then go back from 15th to 5th, because he had the speed to do that. He probably couldn't get back up to the lead group because Tomac and Jett were riding so exceptional, but he definitely could have been inside the top 5 and not lose 50 points, plus also having a shoulder injury. Because if we watch what happened here, he doesn't have his goggles on. He's squinting. The lens was snapped from a rock. What kind of damage was done to his eyes inside of 10 minutes of racing? Like, for us normies, that is a full-blown moto in the local pro class or the B class, novice class at a motocross race. Or maybe it was around 8, but completely just missed a shift, false neutral in between gears. I'm assuming it was probably second to third, maybe third to fourth, but typical. We've all been there. We've had this happen before. And then he just augers in and lands on his head and sticks his shoulder out. And I think that's what did it for him. Extending his left arm is what made him did not finish and then not start the next moto. We'll probably see him this next weekend at Hangtown, but and as you can see, when he gets off the track, what he'll do is he'll shake that arm, right? He lets it hang there. And going into the mechanics area, he's got Dungy, and I don't know who this individual's name is, so I'm sorry, but the guy that has the fire extinguisher that is just pouring stuff onto the radiators, I thought that was kind of interesting. He'll go over to the other side and start throwing it on the radiators, and you can see him totally steaming. So these bikes were darn near exploding, hence Cooper Webb's bike ended up doing the same thing. But because this guy was riding so well, even with his goggles off, watch what he does here on this inside left-hander. He's going to wheelie as he comes out. Look at that. Boom. And if I slow this down, he's just going to wheelie and manual over the lip, where Hunter behind him is going to scrub, and he actually ends up going higher than Sexton does just by coming out of this corner and just being light on the front end. Uses a little bit of the KTM horsepower and wheelies, stands up seamlessly, manuals over. Wow, well done. It just is a bummer that he's now down 50 points because of the mishap with his goggles. And I can't have a rider analysis video without talking about the domination of Hayden Deegan. Watch what he does here. He little preload, doubles, and then rolls, jumps into the mud. This was the mud that took out Seth and Hymus, and he just lands, boom, right in it, jumps out of it where the other riders fell down, and he's able to just manhandle that motorcycle and keep it on 2 wheels. And then watch this scrub as he comes through here. He literally hits his foot, boom. Look at this. Look at that gnarly scrub. Oh my goodness, almost crashes because it hits his foot peg, takes his foot off, and he almost crashes multiple times. And then this guy ends up going 1-1. But here, watch this. Slow-mo. Nice, beautiful scrub. Gets way up on top of that motorcycle. Hits that foot peg. There's that foot. Oh, shit. Here we go. And he's able to hold on to it. But then the next lap, watch what he does, is now, as opposed to preloading double, he's going to jump on top of it and turn it into a step-on, step-off. which I didn't see any other rider do that. That was exceptionally well done. And that is a good segue to CoachRobStore.com, this performance energy fuel. I love this stuff. I'm going to use this at my half marathon this weekend, and then also the Ironman that is coming up in 2 weeks. It's a perfect balance between electrolytes and calories to keep you fueled depending upon whatever you do. Between 1 to 5 hours worth of stuff, this stuff is amazing. My favorite is watermelon. So the link is in the description there for you guys to check this stuff out. I highly recommend. I go through probably 4 or 5 bags a year of this stuff. Back to Deegan. Look at him through these rollers as he doubles and then just manuals over multiple of them. And if we watch some of the other riders, okay, like the man that dominated the 450 class, he was going to the inside. Everyone was going wide. And he takes a little roller and a little bump rut and turns it into a lip, doubles, okay, wheelies, doubles, and then doubles out really fast. But what he did afterwards is even more spectacular. This was probably the thing that gave me goosebumps, was coming up this hill. Watch what he does. Boom. He takes a braking bump and he preloads and he jumps off of it. Okay, look at that. He's in the air, lands on top. Freaking amazing how he's able to do that. I was so impressed with that. And if we watch Tomac, he was another rider that was able to triple out. Only rider I saw. Here's him going to the outside. Okay, double, roll, double, triple preload. Fast. I kind of think that was faster, but I was more impressed with Jett's little jump up the hill, because this just rot. I could watch this all day. Comes in here, preloads the motorcycle, bounces up on top, just spectacularly done. And if we continue to watch how he rides, you can see he's just floating with the bike. You can tell he's in a high gear. He's not braking hard and accelerating hard. He's more or less just keeping his momentum up. Watch him coming down here, okay? He's light on the brakes, just a little rot, pretty much almost all around the track, where he's just blurping that to get over some of these braking bumps, and he's being patient. Right here, what he does. I love this line, okay? This deep rut, there's lots of ruts coming in here. And he was one of the only guys I saw able to just jump out of it. And how he jumped out looks incredibly smooth. Okay? It just looks effortless the way he rides. Rod, this guy has another 30% in the tank, where we'll watch Tomac here make a lot of mistakes trying to keep up with him. So it kind of leads me to believe that Jett is toying with Tomac. I don't know. I mean, we will see what the season works out. I hope not, because I want to see some amazing racing between the two of them. But just based off of riding style, you got somebody attacking the track, and then you have another guy that's just flowing with it, just almost out there using it as an enduro, like just being very fluid and smooth. Rot out, and we'll watch Tomac behind him. Just, it slows him down just enough. And here, we'll do a half a lap with Tomac here, and you can see, here's Jett again, just jumping out of it. Tomac is able to just bulldog his way around, and he is going to dab his foot here. Oops. Just trying to keep up with him. Makes a big mistake. You got Jett going on the inside. Watch his motorcycle, how it stays straight up and down. Maybe this is a little bit of a suspension deal where Tomac hasn't been able to test as well, but I honestly think Tomac has been doing more motocross, where Jett's probably been doing just as much motocross, because both these guys didn't do the supercross. But watch Jett's bike versus Tomac's bike. Tomac is going to go side to side to side, and Jett just keeps it on two wheels straight up and down. And then there's Tomac making another mistake, coming in way too hot into this rut. Okay, front wheel bounces out of it. He's able to, again, just bulldog his way through and not crash. But he was riding right to his limit, where I believe Jett was within his means. So this is Johnny Hopper. Till next time, keep it WFO. Bra-da-da-da-da.